Idlewild is so fickle. These gaps are tight. The kicks can be brutal. There's random OBM places. You just never know what you're going to get. The reason Emerson's on lead cards is because he's accurate off the tee. He's got the forehand-backhand combo. He's a great putter from C2 and in. He's got the forehand approach game that can help you scramble. That's what you need to have to compete well here at Idlewild.
If there's anybody who can hit the initial gap, it's this guy. And out here, that's the name of the game. Hit the initial gap, you get paid. Get down the fairway, scramble a little bit. His putter has really heated up this second half of the season, so yeah, of course he's got a chance. He's a defending world champion. Joey's going to have to do the same thing he did today. He's going to have to throw smooth shots right down the fairway, give himself a lot of looks, but he's going to have to make those looks. Coming down the stretch, the pressure is real, especially for somebody who's never won before, trying to find that first-time Elite Series victory. He's going to have to make some putts. I like his chances just because of how well he's playing, and the course really suits his game.
Tight lines don't scare Calvin away, which scare most players away from going with their go-to shot. But, you know, I mean, Calvin's about as consistent as it gets. When he's on, he's hard to beat. When he's off by a little bit, he gives people a little bit of daylight. Might be missing putts a little bit low, but he's always consistent off the tee. So you can just always bet Calvin's going to give himself chances. If he takes advantage of those chances, he's going to be the winner.
I think somebody's going to come in and shoot something real nice, and these guys are going to be chasing a while on the back nine. First time winner, yes.
This place generates new winners seemingly every year, so I wouldn't be surprised. Isaac Robinson's going to have something to say about it, but a first time winner at Idlewild, that's kind of par for the course. So yeah, that's my bet. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final round here at the LWS Open at Idlewild. 2024 edition, BigBarri commentary, bringing you this exciting, beautiful weather and beautiful competition. Paul Ulibarri, Jeremy Koling.
Man, we got a nice one today.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been this excited in a long time. We have some people that are just chasing second, third card that have, you know, that fire in their belly. I'm thinking of Ezra. We have Calvin, who's been sneaky good for the last 7 years. You know, just always podiuming, always on the lead card. We get to watch a lot of him. Joseph Anderson, who probably the most underrated player on the tour and breakout player, like you mentioned yesterday.
Yeah, he's becoming the underrated player. I mean, start rating him high, because he's going to be up there for a while. He's got the goods.
Yep.
Isaac Robinson, your world champion, really coming into form as of late. Kind of a early rough patch for him. And since he's figured out his putt, man, he is right back where we expected him to be all season. And Emerson Keith, man, every 2 or 3 tournaments, he finds his way onto lead card. He's having a good season as well. And right off the top, I got to tell you guys, once again, I stayed completely spoiler-free. I'm very excited about this. I have no clue. It is really hard this day and age to stay off your phone and get a spoiler on Instagram, but I do not have one. In fact, the Jomez guys try to say, well, we're going to give you a hint. I said, shut up. I don't want to hear it. So here we go. Let's get into some disc golf.
Yeah, hole 1, par 4, 638. One of the easier holes on the course. But with that easiness, you have OB left, OB right, and a lot of nerves coming in this first shot. And let's take a look at Ricky Wysocki right away, who is one of those guys chasing. I believe he's on the third card. So
yeah, he's 6 back, I believe. But with an eagle on 1, he would not be 6 back anymore. That is perfect drive.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, you could get a little bit closer, but that is an actual Saki bomb.
And this is from just outside circle 2. And that's in there.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's the one way to start. Okie dokie. And I actually alluded to somebody going out of bounds, pin high right, and saving the par, or saving the birdie. That was actually Calvin last year, I believe. Round one. I thought it was Ricky, but it was actually Calvin.
Yeah, I think Ricky actually put it in the circle last year and made the putt from the right side. Understable fairway driver, and that's just fine. Better than just fine. That's exactly where he's trying to throw it.
Yep.
Up second out of Athens, Georgia, Joseph Anderson.
See how well Joseph Anderson responds to any potential pressure of last round lead card in the mix. Just one shot back of Calvin.
The more lead card final round appearances you get, the more comfortable you feel. And he's kind of been in this position a little bit this year. So you got to start learning eventually. And that's a good start right there for Joseph. And I don't know if you saw the statistic before when we were lining these players up, but Isaac 92% fairways hit yesterday.
On this court? Oh, goodness.
Or that could have been for the week. I don't know if those statistics are for the week, but 92
That doesn't make sense.
is ridiculous on this course. And that's why. Look at that. That's as right down the middle of the fairways you could possibly make.
That's probably his season average, actually.
And rounding out the lead card out of Terrell, Texas, Emerson Heath.
This guy's just a scrapper right here. There's no other way to put it for Emerson. He's going to do things a little different than a lot of players, but, you know, I like to think of him as almost a little Wysocki. You know, doesn't matter where he is. The putt's dangerous from everywhere. Really scrappy scrambler. And a proven winner on the tour.
Yes, he is. Great shot for all players off the tee. And a little short cleanup work. Joseph playing left, and I think that's intentional just to avoid any error that could potentially happen on that right side. You don't want to leave yourself the impossible low ceiling putt provided by that cedar. Calvin's going to try to turn it into the bullseye, and that's something that he is quite capable of doing with his short-range approach discs.
Yeah, I like watching him throw those short-range approaches, how he does a teeny little X step into there, you know?
Yep.
Keeping the timing right. I think that helps for his long throws, too. Making sure that the down tempo's good, and then when he has to really rip into it, easier to speed things up. Here we go with Isaac. Emerson with a pretty good upshot, and Isaac as well. Isaac with the long drive of the group.
That's cool to see. Calvin leaving his approach shot a bit short, but does not leave the putt short. Cashes in the birdie. As does Isaac. And Emerson in the heart. The jump putt approach from both Isaac and Emerson was not as close as you'd like for the jump putt range, but they both cleaned up the dirty work. And a star frame right off the bat. Paul, you don't have to donate any money to charity. Jomez will do that for you. And let's check in here with Luke Humphreys, who had a great moving around day to get onto chase card. And that approach shot leaves him right where we saw Ben Callaway make a nice putt yesterday. Looks like Luke's got the same line. And the same result. Watch out for that man today. Look how Ricky breaks that into the gap. That is
All world right there. Nobody's getting that far.
That is insanely gifted. That is so special of a drive. Into the gap already. My goodness. That is just making the hole the easiest it can possibly be made.
Yeah, he made a little chip shot from there.
Goodness.
And that's going to get him 4 through 4.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the par on 3 negated by the eagle on 1. So Ricky Wysocki off to the races. And what card is Ricky on? Is he on chase?
He's on third card.
He's on third card.
Yeah.
Okay. But just like that, with his 4 through 4 start, he is just 3 back of our leaders, who have only played 1 hole though. On to the second. Forehand plays, backhand roller plays, even a backhand air shot. Just get out to this hillside, anywhere up here, and you're fine. Just to have an approach, the closer you get to the top of that berm, easier the approach gets. As you see this big right to left slope, a lot of times disc will stand up and find their way into the OB lake.
Don't want that.
Or is that a pond? Maybe it's an OB pond.
How big does the lake have to be considered
I think
a lake?
bigger than that.
Okay. It's bigger than a puddle.
It's certainly not a puddle.
Okay.
That we can both agree on.
All right.
Calvin, great forehand into position. Love this man's forehand.
Just so smooth. It doesn't seem to me like he's ever forcing a shot ever. It's like, okay, this calls for this shape, and I have all the shapes. I don't have to push it way down the fairway. This is what I got for you.
The way he threw that is the exact same way as Isaac. Is this going to get lucky? It does. He threw the same exact amount of effort when he parked hole 11 at Northwood Black. And if you know that hole, you know how difficult of a forehand line it is. And for him to just so easily do it, that immediately showed me that this guy's forehand's for real. Emerson's going to have decisions to make.
There's one decision when you're on this card. Go.
Uh-oh. That needs to go in a big way. Probably going to find OB in
no, that's
the future
safe.
at some point in his life. I didn't think that had enough to clear both sides.
Put some pepper on it.
Yeah, he did. He must have.
I like the shape of this. That's why. Little 25-footer up the hill. That's the one you want. Heavy on the hyzer.
Yeah, that could be moving into that. Oh, boy. That is just over the line and dry. That is a tough. Okay. The line's pretty far up the hill. But still, that stinks when you see your disc isn't even wet and you're out of bounds. Calvin going really overstable there. Throws it too low, and now he is in layup territory. And that would have been a heck of a birdie to pull from that drive for Emerson, but he's going to take the par. Calvin will be happy with the par.
Wise decision. I mean, we have seen people run that in the past.
And not that he's playing...
Conservative.
Well, the guy that's the closest to him just went out of bounds right before it. So, I mean, I don't think he's playing match play this early, but at the same time...
Why not snag one? Maybe.
Isaac almost gets one, but pops out of the basket, and Joseph saves par. That's a good-looking putt for the guy that we've seen that putt break down a little bit in pressure moments late in tournaments before. It's good to see him deliver that one with some good confidence.
Yeah, good little tap in maybe right there.
So there will be pars for the group.
Hole 2 is not one you're too bummed out when you miss. Here's Ricky on hole 5. 432 in length.
And this is going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, that's a goner.
And He's in a position where he has to get aggressive from here, try to save the par. And that will not go in.
That's going to be a tough damper on the round, starting off 4 through 4.
Yep.
Now 3 through 5. You're pretty close to the average for whoever's hot on the course.
You just never really see anyone stay in bounds when the release is hyzer on hole 5. You got to get it flat, if not turned over. Yeah. I mean, I know Ricky's got a lot of power, but that's just a missed angle for him there.
Yeah, hole 3 is a par 4, 656 feet. You're going to see roller off the tee. It shapes really well for the roller because of this hill. Something flippy that's pulling right the whole time is really the best option. You will see sidearms for people who do have the power because a little more controlled. You don't have to really worry about the out of bounds left. And then whatever sets you up to a shot into this green. It's well guarded, so even being in the middle of the fairway, you're still going to have teeny tiny gaps to get in there.
Calvin laying down the roller. And that will be just fine. It's better than just fine. That's great. Looked like it was turning over a bit early, but had a lot of pace behind it. Good stability.
Yeah, I think the camera angle today is a little better than in days past right there. Really kind of get to see where the second shot is. And
Joseph, who said he really trusts that wide sidearm to give himself a look every time, just doesn't get it wide enough, and he is going to be on the ground early.
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of grabbing that arm. Hopefully that's just him squeezing it, being like, bad.
Oh, wow. That's a really good roller.
Bad arm. Yeah, that's great.
Really good. This dude understands angles in a way that we haven't really seen in a long time in the sport.
Maybe ever, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that he's one of the most unique backhand players that hits every single gap. It doesn't come in with a lot of touch per se, but it comes in with a lot of touch. I guess it doesn't start off with a lot of touch, but the end result is the disc slowing down perfectly.
And then you're like, oh yeah, that was touchy, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the old heads will be like, oh, Michael Johansson, obviously incredible woods player, but I just don't think that Michael Johansson had the power matched with the angle control that we see with Isaac.
Well, and
the world title. That's also another thing.
That's a nice
little
buffer. Addition to the statistical category.
Oh, Emerson with a good wide forehand. Tough to get in the circle from all the way back there. Elects to go around all the sawgrass. That's a good shot.
And a lot. When you think of touch, you think
Look at that gap hit. Oh, okay. Hits a little edge of the sawgrass.
When you think about people with touch, too, it's a slow process, and they're really working the disc into an angle, right? It starts off, and then it kind of has some movement down the fairway. Isaac's are on an angle. Watch this. And not a lot of movement. It's just on that angle. You see what I mean? Like slight hyzer, let's go slight hyzer the whole way.
That was the most sure thing birdie I have ever seen on hole 3 at Idlewild. That was awesome.
That would have been a bummer if it just like started moving, right?
Dang it. No, you called it perfectly. And Joey Buckets is going to secure his par. Good work after the early tree hit. Calvin just outside C1. Would love to knock this down. And he's loving it.
Oh, baby. On the stripe.
We'd like to see that from Vinny. So that's a good start. He's given himself chances on the first 3 holes and taking advantage on 2 of them. Emerson sends it in there. That is a great up and down from an overcut roller off the tee, and then great forehand, great putt. So Joseph Anderson will take the lone par. Our groups have really done well on hole 3 this week. Calvin with a 2-shot lead. Chasers need to start chasing a little harder if they want to catch him.
Yes.
Moving on to hole 4. You saw Ricky throw just the perfect drive. This tree on the left side makes it really difficult to do what Ricky did because it forces you to go towards that out of bounds line on the right side, but it's not an easy shot shape. So forehands come in play. You're not going to see that from this group though. Backhands to the left side are going to give you the best angle into this second shot, which is very tricky. You have to be in a very specific spot. Otherwise, laying up is probably your best bet.
Get some turn.
Yeah, that's really great.
Is it going to be too far left?
Oh, dang it. It's the last. Yeah.
I was with you, man.
I apologize.
I thought maybe that was going to hold. I never thought it would be that far left.
That got really skippy at the end.
What do you do from there? Just pitch to the middle, you think?
I think you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one lane, you might want to go for it, but I don't think Calvin needs to right now.
I mean, look at this shot. Just on that line the whole time. I'm not going to say it's a great shot because I think it's also might be a little far left.
Wow.
But
that looks so similar to Calvin's, and but that being short of the wood line like Isaac is, it's going to open up a possibility to hit the gap. Calvin really had a lot more power behind it appears.
This one's going to be flirting with that out of bounds on the left. Kind of like, well, what the?
I'm telling
Calvin.
you, Calvin put some stank on it or something, man. Still don't
hate it.
Emerson's angle from there. Let's see if Mr. Anderson get the right flip-up line. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
jeez.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yep. That is quite nice. Not a guaranteed thing from there. Still. But yeah, Isaac's definitely I mean, of course he's sending this one. Bro, just let me have that for one day. Just let me go.
He's like, okay, you get it for, Wednesday.
Don't.
You can practice with
Let me
it for
get it
one
for
day.
one weekend tournament day. That was a great shot.
I'll take Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah,
sure.
You know
what
what?
I can learn from this.
Sure. I'll take a Wednesday as well, but I'm trying to get greedy here, man.
Emerson's going to have another long putt. See if he can make back-to-backs.
And Calvin is looking at how he can get back-to-back up shots near the pin now, because that is not what you want.
Great little putt there. Looks like that's as in the middle as you can make it. And this.
Yeah. Maybe, arguably even better than Ricky's in some ways, because Ricky actually had to go right side of that initial tree. Joseph didn't have to worry about any of that. His approach shot wasn't as good as he'd like it to be, but that gap couldn't get much bigger.
Weird reaction, but sticks the landing. He's going to be just inside the circle, it looks like. Back-to-back C2s. Can he do it?
That's a long one.
Yeah.
Par doesn't hurt you here on a 4. It's a tough hole. Isaac doesn't have to worry about taking par on 4. Another beautifully crafted approach shot.
Yeah, 3 through 4. That's a great start.
Calvin would love to see this par putt drop here. Okay. Putter's looking crispy.
Important putt here for buckets.
Well, yeah, he gets one back, one closer to the leader.
Yeah.
And he
really
is 2
good.
through 4.
Yeah, he misses that one, though. 1 through 4, not good. With hole 1 being pretty much
With Calvin giving you a couple opportunities, you don't want to slip back.
No.
But everybody on our card, at least 2 under through 4. And really no one in any trouble so far. It's been pretty good disc golf. Isaac now one back of our leader. Kyle Klein, 10 under through 15 holes. You knew he was going to make a charge at some point, but my goodness, that is a hot round.
Yeah, hole 5 is where charity goes to die.
Yeah.
432 feet of
You're never going to see a star.
Got a big headwind, typically a right to left crosswind. Just a really tough shot shape for these guys off the tee. A lot of power involved. Got an OB line right there on the left. We saw Ricky find that, who has plenty of power. A lot of times you'll see some people even just chip a sidearm into the hillside.
Yeah, again, you're never upset with a par here on 5. This is a very difficult hole to birdie. I want to share a funny stat from my weekend.
Hit me.
This is the only hole I two'd all weekend, and I did it twice. And there are some easy par 3s. 9, 11, 17's quite gettable. This one's not that gettable. My only 2s in the weekend.
Some weekends be like that, man.
Do not ask me about the other 52 holes. I don't want to talk about it.
And you can see how difficult this is playing. Nobody's sniffing the circle. Joseph kind of about 5'10". I'm curious. Does he get sneaky? He's in that maybe go zone.
Yeah, maybe go is that's usually a no-go on hole 5.
This looks. How much power does he have?
Enough to
maybe go.
No, yeah, maybe go. That's a I can understand the justification there.
I don't know.
But a miss is still hyzering OB. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're just putting all anhyzer. Look at these best players in the world. No, thank you. I think they still might be making the same decision if the basket's not elevated. This is go time.
Absolutely. You can put it on a little anhyzer, which he does, and because of the anhyzer, he's able to stay in bounds.
A solid effort. Okay.
No.
You tricked me, Joe. You tricked me. A little smile there, acknowledging that was tough to bite that bullet. But again, par does not hurt you on 5. Only 12 birdies on the day.
Yeah, lead card doesn't get a bird on 5. Star par.
Well, you said that's where charity goes to die, and you weren't kidding. I mean, you could put the 4 best players in the world on that hole. If there's a headwind, you're never going to see a star frame.
Yep.
Just you're not going to see it.
IQ's way too high too.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Those guys are going to not even go for it. Typically,
they're too brainy.
Yep,
for sure. Hole 6 is 555 feet. A fun hole where you can get pretty aggressive off the tee. Backhand turnovers can get way down here. Rollers can get way down here. Even a really good forehand can find its way into long jump putt territory. There is eagle potential on it, but there's also impending doom and danger with this winding OB creek. You can find yourself in some bad spots if you're not careful.
And talking about
just hold it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, rethink what I'm gonna say. Let's talk about the angle control that Isaac has. Is that ridiculous?
That is so.
You don't see people throwing anhyzer into this fairway.
That's such pretty flight. And was that a mid?
Yes.
It had to be, right? It was so slow and drifty.
I like the width.
Yeah, and I like how slow that was, yet it's still with a fast disc that got a little bit of movement forward, flipping up. Going to be a little bit awkward on the footing with the approach, but...
Angle, too, maybe with his swing. You're always going to be awkward here unless you really just knock down a perfect roller.
This one is a little overcut to be perfect.
But in the middle.
Yeah, still fine.
It's a tough place to be right there because now you kind of have to go for the island. It's like that short.
You wish it was worse sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Really aggressive line from Emerson here, going with the overstable slight anhyzer, low release, pushing that right side. It's the good way to get a lot of distance here on 6. Calvin's got a good gap.
Ooh, go in. Go in.
Just over the top.
Great looking line, though. That could have dropped in there. Come on. Give us some fancy stuff. Yeah, you weren't lying. This is very awkward.
Man, I'm excited.
Uh-oh.
Not about that, but about something else, Paul, and you'll know here in a moment.
Go. Yes.
Okay, and that's safe. Emerson might have a tight inside line. Yeah, he's got the high shot.
Slow down.
Oh, God.
Brutal.
At the one place where the wall stops, Emerson skips up and slides down and out.
All right, this is a deep one. Not going to happen.
Emerson, nice save.
Isaac going to the straddle. Gonna have to split these two trees. Does it?
There it is.
Problem.
That's that carefree putting style that we've come to love. Oh, boy. It's so easy to say, oh, looks like he rushed it in hindsight when someone misses a putt low, but that did not seem like Calvin's typical rhythm there on the putting green. Maybe took that one for granted. And we are now going to be tied at the top.
Happened quick. Look at this putt.
Yes, it did. And I got to give a shout out to our man, John Lynn, again.
Parked it again.
This time it says he threw it from 72 feet, but he two'd hole 6 2 rounds in a row. Also, shout out to Parker Welk, throws it in from 124 feet, the 2 eagles on the day. But John Lynn going 4 strokes in the last 2 rounds on hole 6.
Parks it yesterday and then throws it in from 270 feet.
Oh, man, I really hope he can clarify how that eagle happened yesterday, but we're just going to continue to assume that he put it on the island and tapped it in.
And then you said a 70-footer? 71?
72 footer is what it says here. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congrats.
It's so cool.
Did he birdie it the first day?
I'm going to go back and look.
Yeah, we got to see. We got to check.
Maybe he eagled it round 1. I just missed it. Let's take a look. No eagles round 1.
Come on, find a birdie.
John Lynn birdied it round 1. 5 under.
Let's go, dude.
In 3 rounds. Joseph Anderson, what a crush. You hardly see somebody move that far right off the tee on 7.
Yeah, that's deep.
Very nicely thrown and controlled for Calvin.
Emerson.
Whoa.
Cutting it close, but this is just such a good drive.
I tell you what, he was not happy or comfortable with that shot till it just barely snuck around the corner.
Isaac finds himself tied for first. Can he now just get on a run?
That's a
Oh, lovely.
well, the disc's running back to the basket. That's for sure. It's going to be 5 under through 7 for Isaac.
Could you imagine playing this whole backhand? Because I don't want to imagine it. Didn't that seem terrifying?
No, I've had nightmares about like less scary things than that. That's actually not that scary. What Calvin just did, that's how I like to birdie it.
Yeah. That's how everybody does, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a forehand hole.
Can't do it much better.
Yep. Beautiful. Let's see what Joey's so far. He's actually got a backhand flip up line. Interesting. Wow.
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah. Dun dun dun.
What a hole to dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Yeah. Well, Calvin's got to get past the bugaboo here on the green first. Yeah.
You don't see him miss very many twice in a row from the same distance.
Not wrong.
But that was definitely farther than I thought, as is this one.
So we got the dunt, we got the dunt dunt, and the other two in the bullseye. So they're going to represent the last dun. So help me God, editors, if you did not put the dun dun noise. Okay, cool. Pay it off. All right, up to hole 9. Andrew Marweed. Can he be the forehand ace savior? Not this time.
You know what he likes to do, though?
Put it to circle's edge and make him?
All day long. It's his favorite thing.
He doesn't
rarely see him parked.
It's so funny. Well, that's the thing. That's Andrew Marweed goes with. He does flip some shots up. He's got great touch, but he also goes into greens with overstable discs because he doesn't care.
Yeah, why?
Why would you care?
I'm not trying to park it. I'm going to make it from anywhere.
It doesn't matter. Like Isaac's got this like intensely satisfying flip up angles where he's trying to match disc to the grade of the hill and do all those wonderful things. Andrew Marweed doesn't care about any of that stuff.
He's playing weekly doubles league. Dude. He's like, I got a partner putting behind me here.
Down, dude.
I'm just trying to get a look here.
Just give me a look through the trees. I don't care. 576-foot par 4 winding through the woods. This is a great par 4. This is a tough one. They called it a par 5 for years just because it feels so good to get the 3. But this is an Elite Series par 4 all day long. Now, this is the hole that... Could you imagine birding this one backhand? To me, I think hole 7 is more attainable than 8, personally.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you could fit a roller in there. That's the only reason I'd say this one.
Got it.
You got a little room to move if you hit the fairway.
Ooh. What?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
No. Yeah, super inside early release there for Joey Buckets. See if he got into trouble with that.
Oh, miss it and go, oh, this is overstable.
Yeah, okay.
Has room.
Not going to be easy from that right side, but he's up there. About to say, Emerson loves these type of angle flicks. He just hits that one tree in the middle that you got to find your way around. Not a bad result, but certainly makes birdie very unlikely.
Joseph just trying to get down the fairway. Get me down there. Give me a good angle to throw another sidearm. That's okay. Still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, that's so good.
Oh,
That's
my
so-
goodness. Look at Nate. He's like, what?
I shouldn't be seeing a disc up here yet. What? A shot.
That is ridiculous.
Oh my word. That is so stinking good. Well, you're getting a front row seat of how and why Isaac shot 13 under yesterday. He was doing this kind of stuff.
It's wild.
Locked in right now. At a good time, too. The next tournament, guys, World Championships. Emerson will have some kind of look. And look at this awkward stance for Calvin, having to take that right foot behind his left foot. Oh, man, that is so tough to do.
Stop it.
That is so tough to do. I mean, just to get a C2 look from that. Hats off to you, Calvin. That was a great shot. This is a touchy one. This is not an easy approach. It's a little inside. There are holes there, and Joseph almost finds all of them. He'll have a look.
Not the one you want for par.
Definitely not.
Good try. He's been all over it from that distance today. Had quite a few of them already.
This does not drop, then Isaac has a chance to take the lead. But that was a great run from Calvin. Just that one tree perfectly in the way.
Oh, beautiful stroke.
What a scramble. That didn't seem nervy at all, did it, Paul?
No, that was maybe the best putt I've seen him make ever.
Look where that hand location was on the follow through. Right at the release point. Stayed there the entire way. That's how you teach it. Cooking.
Yeah, and then Isaac, no sidearm, only birdie.
Who
You could
goes birdie 7-8 with
could-
4 backhands?
Yeah, you could literally put a bounty on it of like, hey, here's $1,000 to anybody who goes backhand, air shot on those 2 holes, and you won't see it.
We'll
for
give
a
you
long
all
time.
day.
Yep,
You can take the whole day.
all day.
All day long. And here's brother Ezra. That's pretty Ez-like right there. That's pretty easy, if you don't mind me saying that. When making the birdie was easier than picking up your disc, that's playing disc golf right. Calvin, 3 under through 8, not a bad start, but he's lost the lead to Isaac, who is 6 down now through 8 holes. Moving on to hole 9 now. The Ben Calloway, the Chris Dickerson, the James Conrad backhand ace hole. And also the Sarah Holcomb ace hole that I did not know about. Got it earlier in the week. Congratulations to her.
That'd be hilarious if she threw backhand.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. That was funny. Oh, Isaac.
Oh, no. That is as bad as they make them.
That is, I don't even know what it looks like over there.
Me neither.
Doesn't look good.
I don't want to go over there.
Joseph a little bit tight on the hyzer. If it sits soft, it'll be good. Yeah, decent roll back to the pin.
Great little rollback. No awkward footing now.
If you don't keep this straight, see, these just want to stand up and roll. If that gets past that tree, it's going to go into that same wood line that Joseph was messing around with. So we may be in danger of seeing our first bogey here on the front 9. 3
Maybe
players out of position.
Yeah, maybe seen a few.
Yeah, this one's going to be very difficult to save for Emerson. Super awkward straddling out, going over the right knee. Tough to do.
Misses that one.
That is so good.
Oh, yeah.
It is much easier. It looks a lot easier than it was. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, now what are you going to do with no sidearm, kid?
That,
okay. Never mind.
I'll just do that.
Well,
I'll just put it like there.
yeah, that's fine. That's what I was hoping he'd say.
Calvin. I was going to say, that was coming in kind of hot, maybe even a little too much hyzer. I don't know if that tree was a bad thing.
Joey.
Going to pick up the lone bird, and that's going to bring him to 400 on the front nine. Just
Great
one
putt.
back, yeah. Back-to-back great putts.
Good save. Okay, we're going to possibly avoid the bogey, which is kind of crazy for where Isaac was.
It's really crazy from where Emerson was. I mean, Isaac and Emerson both were in grave danger, but oh boy, that was really close to falling out on the left side. But Isaac will maintain his lead going into the final 9 holes of the tournament. Some great disc golf here on the front 9. And we've got a 1-shot lead over Joseph Anderson, Calvin Heimburg, little brother Ezra Robinson is a couple back. Ben Calloway still technically in the mix, as is Andrew Marweed. Emerson Keith still not out of it. Everyone is close by, and that's how we like to see it here at Idlewild coming down the stretch.
Yeah, and you don't really see that big 14 under coming in and pushing these guys, you know? So they're kind of in control of their own destiny right now, which is nice, being the lead card, being able to just battle with who you can see.
That's right. Well, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see it. It'll be the first time for me, so let's get right into it. I'm very anxious. You guys ready to go? All right, let's do it.